Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Rice to Meet You, your comedy podcast about Asian culture. Now, I just want to take some time out before today's episode to thank you guys for all of your support, and a special thank you to all of our patrons. You guys really make this podcast happen, because without your support, we wouldn't be able to do it the way we do. It keeps the podcast relatively creatively free, as Nigel would put it, so thank you. And if you want to join our Patreon and get access to extra episodes and our Discord page where you can interact with other listeners and ourselves, then head on over to patreon.com/rice-to-meet-you-pod and choose the tier that best suits you. And yeah, we thank you guys so much because we really enjoy doing this podcast and we're so glad that it's reached so many people. So again, thank you. And now, on with the show. If you now, in addition to being the white knight of MSG and of Asian male hotness, you're gonna purport yourself to be Asian cooking. You're gonna purport yourself to be the white knight of hate crimes against Asians.
Yeah,
I am gonna cancel this podcast.
No, don't cancel this.
I am gonna
I'm
leave.
making good points here. I'm really making good points here.
Hi, and welcome to Rice to Meet You, your comedy podcast about Asian culture. And it's hosted by me, Evelyn Mock.
And me, Nigel Ng.
Did you notice how I didn't say starring or featuring, Nigel?
Well, that's your low self-esteem showing. That's why.
It's
it stars
not.
us. It's our podcast. Okay? People try to control the topics we talk about. People try to tell us what we can and cannot say. We will not bow down. It's our podcast.
Oh, God. Okay. All right.
It stars us. It stars us. Okay.
It does star. Well, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, it stars us. Mm-hmm. I mean, starring in a podcast is like the lowest form of recognition ever.
Starring in a podcast nobody listens to is the lowest form of recognition. And we all know a few people who do that, don't we?
Oh, Nigel.
So,
sorry.
This is my last week in Malaysia. Very sad. Mm-hmm. Very sad, but also very busy because so many things. I get invited to a lot of interviews and stuff, and I'm like, I'm leaving on Tuesday, so everything gets squashed into this last week. I had a photo shoot recently. You saw the photos, right? You saw the.
I did.
Yeah,
you
magazine cover,
good.
Baby. Thank you. Finally.
I mean. That's why, I want to give you compliments and stuff, but then you're not a good compliment receiver.
Why?
You're like
Why?
You're like the version of somebody who's a sore loser, but like the compliment style, but you're like your ego just expands from receiving compliments, so it's not fun to give you compliments.
No, I just say thank you. What did I do?
No, you go thank you in a smug way, and then you go. And then you go like, it's really good, isn't it? I'm so hot. I'm the representation of Asian male hotness. Look at my abs.
I didn't say shit. You're putting words in my mouth. I just said thank you. That's it.
That's usually how you do it, though. That's usually how it spins.
Well, I'm trying to make people laugh on the pod, okay? That's why I'm trying to make it sound funny. This ego is funny. My ego is entertaining. That's what you said. But yes, I did do a photo shoot, and I realized I looked good. Not because yes, sure, the bone structure helps and the facial features help, but it's also the perfect lighting and the makeup. What? Let's try to be honest here.
What are you talking about? The bone structure helps and the facial features. Like, you're not Kevin Kreider.
Yeah, I'm not. Nigel. I'm nowhere near his level. But for a comedian / regular guy who's not in a reality show, I'm pretty good, okay? You can't compare me to someone with Bling Empire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a regular guy. You see, I turn heads at the grocery store. Okay, that's my level. Kevin
it's because
Croner,
everybody recognizes you as Uncle Roger, not because of your bone structure. Nobody goes like,
fair
oh
enough.
my God, that's the guy with the amazing bone structure.
That's because I have a face mask on and it partially covers the bone structure, okay?
Oh my god.
No, all I'm saying is you distracted me from my point. I'm saying it's
Okay.
it's sure, my face looks decent, but it's also the perfect lighting, the good camera angles, the makeup. It's a team effort to make me look hot. So
I mean, I think it's probably because of all those things.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a team effort. And I'm also saying that people in Asia know how to do Asian makeup better. I never looked that good on my like Edinburgh like poster shoots, you know. But people just don't like to look good in the West, I think.
Oh
you know?
my god. Or it's because of like in the West, everybody does makeup for white people. And so white people makeup is the standard. But I agree with you. Like if you look at, I've been looking at like Korean makeup artists and how they do makeup for K-dramas and stuff. And it's like flawless. That's why all of them look so natural. It's because their makeup artists are amazing at doing Asian makeup.
Yeah, can we have a few of those people in London? You
I know.
So we don't go to a production set and then it's like, oh no, here, slap some white people makeup on me. Sure. Like, can we get some like Korean makeup artists in London? Who know how to work the Asian face?
I mean, they use like palettes of like different colored concealers and then they just dot everything and they just make sure they're like it's really important to match the original skin tone. And then it's like, oh my God. Flawless. She looks so natural. Yeah.
Yeah, we need some of those people, okay? Because otherwise it's pretty depressing. You go do a photo shoot and you're like, ugh, I hate myself,
So did you feel pampered at the photo shoot?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was very nice. Although it's like it's for a men's lifestyle magazine, right? So it's not a photo shoot for me. It's a photo shoot for them because they needed to do a magazine cover. So most of the stuff they put me in were just like very weird looking outfits because, if you just take a photo
fashion.
shoot. Yeah, it's fashion, exactly. So unfortunately, only a few photos are usable as my like Tinder profile pic, or Instagram profile pic. Why would I not put a photo of myself looking good on Tinder? Why?
I've not used a professional photo in my Tinder. Because it feels like
that's why you don't get any matches.
Oh, come on.
Why not? Why don't you use any professional photos on Tinder? Why?
Because it feels too much. It feels like you're making too much of a big deal. Like it's like, oh, look at me. This is a professional photo. It feels like you're cheating. If you can't look good on your own, like just taking a selfie, then don't post a professional photo. It feels like cheating. It feels like I'm cheating somebody out of like, because that's me looking my best. And so when I show up in reality, I look like this is DIY. This is DIY. So it's like, I'm not going to match that. So I feel like I would be cheating people.
Well, my DIY is pretty close to my best. So I'm not cheating. Okay. Using as my Tinder profile pic. You can't convince me otherwise.
Okay, Nigel.
Yeah, can't wait to get them photos.
Them photos.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, like on Tinder, if I see somebody with a professional photo, honestly, like it is better because I've been Tindering and men just need to do better. Like the profiles of men on Tinder are horrible. Like there's so many who are just doing selfies and they look so sour and it's just like selfies from different angles, like, oh, one in your car, one in your bathroom, one at the gym, and it's like, just do better. Like it's horrible profiles.
I hate to break this to you, Evelyn, but Tinder matches you based on your rank. So maybe you need to take a long, hard look at yourself at your profile and be like, why is Tinder showing me these shitty profiles? Is it because of me?
Oh my God. But also, like, I will say, there are people who are, who have good profiles, like men. But I think just men in general are just worse at making dating profiles. Because, something that's really common on Tinder is like, it's the group photo. Why do dudes post group photos? and like several in a row. So it's like, it's almost like they're like, hey, guess who I am? And then you have to play this game of like, who is the guy in the photo? And I know who I hope it is. I hope it's the hot one. I hope it's
never the hot one. It's never the
hot one. It's never the hot one. Because it's like you're swiping and you're like, oh, another group photo. And you're like, okay, the hot guy's still in the group photo. But also the short, like not as hot guy is also still in the photo. The short, maybe bald. I don't know. I don't want to make judgments.
Why are you so like tiptoeing around the topic? Just say bald. Baldness is unattractive. I'm sorry to break this to you.
Not necessarily.
Nope. Name a person.
Jason Statham.
And I guarantee you he looks better with hair. Trust me. I'm sorry, men out there. Hair is more attractive than no hair. Okay? A shaved head is so much sexier than a bald head. Prove me wrong. Give me one example.
Bruce Willis?
Better looking with hair. I've seen him with hair.
Yeah, he was better looking with hair. Yeah, he was.
I'm telling you. Men out there, if you're losing your hair, fucking get on it. Save it. I'm on the pills. I'm on the minoxidil. I'm on all the stuff to keep my hair. Mm-hmm. Nobody looks better without hair than with hair. Nobody. Mm. Especially not Asians. Name one hot bald Asian person. Zero. Have you seen any bald people in K-pop groups or K-dramas?
The thing is, I've not seen a bald Asian man, actually. I think Asian hair stays on pretty well.
I think we're less likely to, bald, sure, compared to white people. But there are still a lot of us who experience hair loss. I'm just saying, get on it. If you feel like it's losing, get on it,
Okay.
To the
Back
men.
to the point.
For women, you can just wear a wig or something, right? But for men, we can't really wear a wig. We can do a hair transplant. So look into that, people. Just a little friendly announcement for my fellow men out there. I look out for you on the Rise to Meet You podcast. I tell you to shave. Get Manscaped. We're not sponsored by Manscaped this episode, but I use Manscaped. I like the product. I tell you to shave. I tell you to get abs. I tell you to keep your hair. That's what I do. Okay, for all the Asian men, this community of people who are very close to my heart. Okay, but anyways, Tinder. How's your Tinder experience? You doing okay? Are you meeting new people?
Well, I was saying with the like group photos and stuff, it's like I just don't understand why men do that. Like,
well, because they don't have any other photos. That's why.
I mean, right? But don't upload a photo with your hotter friend. Of course, I'm going to think your friend's hotter. I mean, if you have a friend who's like an 8 and you're a 5, for instance, like on my photos, I'm alone. I'm all alone. I'm not going to upload a photo with like my 2 hotter friends and be like, hey, I'm not the one to the right and I'm not the one to the left. I'm the worst looking one in the middle. Like, I'm not going to do that. Just upload a photo of yourself. Don't upload a photo next to your hotter friends. Why? You're getting my hopes up.
No, I agree. I think if you are ugly, get a dog. That'll do better for you on Tinder. Like I'm gonna get a dog, just for Tinder. What is there any other reason to get dogs apart from to get more matches on Tinder, right? Puppies, yeah.
True.
So if you feel like you're ugly, don't take photos with your hot friends. Take a photo with the puppy. Make sure it's your puppy though. Don't steal someone else's puppy. It's weird.
It doesn't even have to be your puppy, honestly. It could be any.
When the women
puppy.
swipe on you, the women want to see the puppy.
Well,
right?
I mean, if she's more interested in the puppy than you, then you don't stand a chance anyways.
That's fine. You just need a way to lure her to your dungeon.
Oh my god.
Want to come see my puppy?
Lure her into your van.
Yeah. Nah,
well, my Tinder.
Nobody has a van in London now. It's too much. It's congestion charge. The traffic sucks. Pedophiles in London must have a hard time, right? Imagine kidnapping a kid in your van and then you drive through central London. That's £80 congestion charge. And then there's a ultra low emission zone, the ULEZ, and vans are never like ultra low emission. So you're thinking, oh my god, I don't even want to fuck this kid anymore. It's like I'm losing hundreds of pounds just driving this kid through Piccadilly Circus.
Nigel, that's such a 90s take on pedophiles. Everything's online nowadays. So.
What do you mean? Oh, really? Nobody uses the candy trick anymore? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Are you sure
I mean,
about that?
come on. How long hasn't it been that pedos go online and just catfish kids? You should know this, Nigel. You should know this.
Why should I know this? I'm not close to the pedo world, okay?
Keep up to date. If you're going to make pedo jokes,
I'm
keep
not
up to date.
subscribed to the pedo publications where they talk about the new recent developments in pedo land, the technological advances. Like, what? Are pedos on Discord now? Because we're on Discord, it's a new thing. Are they on Discord? Do they have subreddits?
Yeah, probably.
What do pedos do? How do they attract their prey now?
Discord. Probably on Discord.
So forgive me if my pedo references are from the 90s. Jesus. Isn't that a good thing? That is a good thing. What if I came on this podcast and you said something about pedos? I'm like, actually, Evelyn, did you know pedos nowadays, they don't use a fan anymore. We just go online.
Honestly, like, just for myself, I thought that was a really good burn.
What burn? What burn?
Calling you out on your Peter references being from the 90s and correcting you and saying, excuse me, everything's online nowadays. I just have to give myself credit because Nigel never does. So
Fine.
Okay, back to my Tinder.
What?
My Tinder. I mean, my Tinder experience, I'll be honest, it's been quite boring because it's like Tinder's kind of like admin. Like dating's kind of like admin. Like you have to be really, really active and you have to be really on it. Like I've turned off notifications for my Tinder on my phone. So I don't get notifications when people write to me. So sometimes I'll sign in like 2 or 3 days later and I'll respond and I'm like, I guess that person's not interested anymore. Like it's just so much admin. And also now, because it's the pandemic, people don't necessarily want to meet up. So you just end up chatting until like no end.
I think you don't want to meet up.
Yeah, it's true.
People want to meet up. You keep using the pandemic as an excuse, man. You know?
No, I mean...
And I use Tinder too. It doesn't feel like admin to me. Feels great. Okay. Yeah. I turn on notifications too. I try to meet up with them ASAP. But that's when chemistry happens.
I guess I do need to do that because I'm always like, if we have chemistry chatting, then I'm like, oh, I want to meet up. Because I'm like, I don't want to waste my time. It sounds awful. That sounds awful.
It's normal, you know. By the way, listeners, thank you for all the listeners who reached out saying they have 2 phones. I see ya.
Again.
Now, if you haven't listened to the previous episode, I said I'm only going to date ambitious women. You know, women with 2 phones. They're a great candidate.
How come you get so many DM slides? I don't get any.
I don't know. I come across as, you know, very issue-free, and I'm very kind and caring and emotionally available. My favorite term now. My favorite term. But you have to understand, too, I'm almost 30, right? And you are what, 34? 33?
I'm 34. What? I'm 33. I'm
33. Turning 34 this year, right?
Yeah.
We are the leftover people.
Oh, God.
You know, you talked about like leftover women. Like, it applies to men, too. I am the leftover man.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like,
I'm divorced. You have your issues. Like, the good people are taken. They're married. They're someone's fiance. And it's just fucking people like us. Broken, bargain bin, bruised apple people, you know?
Bruised apple people. I'll be honest. If, like, on Tinder, I'm trying to, like, be age appropriate. But, like, some people have kids. Some people have kids. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to... Like, okay, so in addition to deciding if I want to date you, I have to consider if I want to be a stepmom. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I think it'll be a good stepmom.
I'd be great.
Yeah, you hate sex but love children. Perfect. That's a perfect candidate to be a stepmom. I've never heard a better candidate. Right?
Oh, gosh.
If you hate sex but love children, have you considered stepmom?
Oh, God.
And also, like, That's why people shouldn't complain when men don't date age appropriately, you know? I have to go younger. That's where the good people are. There's still good people in the younger age range. In my age range, if I date age appropriate people, I'm dating broken leftover people like myself.
Leftover
right?
people.
Age appropriate is another word for bargain bin.
Oh
so
my
can you
God.
blame men when you turn 50 and you look for an 18-year-old because you just want someone who's not already broken? You know, you want
So
somebody,
that you can break them.
I don't know what they do with them. Sure. Maybe if you want to break them, sure. But we just want a blank canvas.
Oh my God.
I almost said blank canvas. Like Uncle Roger. But we just want a blank canvas. Okay? We are not blank canvases. Okay?
No, we've lived. Isn't
Yeah.
that more interesting? Isn't that more, like, that's better? I'm a person who has stuff to say. I have stories. If you get me on a good day, like,
Yeah,
I'm
you have
interesting.
issues.
I have issues that
I don't
I'm
know.
working through.
I don't know why you equate issues with being interesting. They're not that interesting. If you don't give me a choice, this girl's a little bit boring, but no issues. This girl's more interesting, but tons of issues. I'm going the boring route. No, like 10 out of 10 times, I'm going the boring route.
Oh my God.
You know?
It's true, actually. Oh God. All of this, like, dating stuff it's like bringing up issues for me, but I think this is like the final step in being able to be a normal person.
You have to date 18-year-old boys.
Gross. I'll be honest though, I do attract younger guys. Like, honestly, like, I think it's a combination between me being very motherly and also me being quite silly. But like, I think, but then that leads to me getting a lot of men with mother issues, like so many men with mommy issues. It's like, oh my God, the best, I'll tell you this. Like, I once went out with a guy who had mommy issues, but he was such a good spooner. Like, he was such a good cuddler. Like, I haven't been held better than that. And I think it's because he hugged me so hard because I think he was trying to get the love he didn't get from his mother from me. And I was like, you know what? Bring it on. That is some great cuddling. Like,
You see, listeners, you see how negative Evelyn is? You know? Like, someone likes to cuddle with
joke.
you. And then you're
I
like...
thought that was a funny joke. All right.
It's pretty funny. But
Thank you.
Also, the fact that you came out with that joke also shows how you view the world, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I want people to cuddle with me. And then someone cuddles you. Mommy issues. Your mom didn't love you. That's why you hug me so hard. It's like, what can a guy do that's right?
I mean,
You know?
I concluded his mommy issues from everything he told me.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. That's fair then.
I didn't make that up. I
thought
didn't
you just
make it up,
made
Nigel.
that leap. Oh, he hugged me just a little bit too tight. Mommy issues.
No. If he hadn't told me anything, I'd be like, oh my God, he's a fantastic cuddler. But like, but because of what he told me, I was like, oh, I'm making that connection. That's really funny, actually. And actually, I have been with a dude who didn't have any mommy issues, and he held me so loosely, and I was like, I think there's something to this, actually.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I probably don't have any mommy issues, you know? I don't give a
What,
shit.
you're terrible at cuddling?
I can't fall asleep when I'm cuddling.
I think, yeah, okay, I get that.
I had this whole like bargain bin theory because I was meeting a friend, and then she asked me like, so she's my age as well, and she said, "Oh, you're turning 30 now. You know, is there anything you think differently?" And I said, "Well, I think that we are the leftovers. People who are still single at 30, we're all the leftovers, and the good people are taken or in relationships already. And this is very dark worldview." And then she was like, "Wow, okay, I wish I didn't ask that." But it's the truth, isn't it? It's the truth.
It's the truth, I think.
Yeah.
Because
So if you're
I mean-
if you're between the ages of 18 and 22, I think that's my new demographic now.
no. Oh no, it's happened.
What's happened?
I mean,
What's
you've
happened?
turned into
What's the point of having fame if you can't have like?
Don't
That
say
sounds
it,
really
Nigel.
bad. That sounds really bad.
Yeah, don't say it.
No, kidding. I want to date age appropriately. but you have to be like a non-psycho. I realize that's the issue. You say I'm too trusting because when I last dated, I was in my early 20s. Everybody was good. They're still good people. You could be trusting and open and vulnerable and just, believe in people. But the older you get, the more suspicious you have to be because the good people are gone. The percentage of good people, if you date in your late 20s, is so much smaller.
Now you see where I'm coming from. You keep saying, oh, Evelyn, you're so negative. Oh, you're so blah, 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 blah. It's because I've been here. I've been in the lake drowning because of all the terrible
You haven't been in
people.
the lake. You were for 7 years, you were outside the lake, okay? Don't come with me with this. I've been here. Where have you been? I've been here for ages. You've just got into the lake like 2 seconds ago. Like you took off your clothes and jumped into the lake.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're like pretending to lecture me on the lake. You know?
I mean, I've been on I've seen people and stuff, but I will say dating now versus dating in your mid-20s. Wow.
I just have to wait till my mid-30s. I just have to wait till my mid-30s when all the divorcees come through. Then the good people are available again. They're good, but slightly broken.
They're broken, yeah.
Yeah, but still good. That's still good. You can renovate them. You can in the car it has a dent. You can just kind of knock the dent out from the inside. It's fixable. You can give them a new paint job. Yeah. So we just have to be patient. Me and you, we just have to be patient.
I mean, I don't feel like I can be patient anymore. I'm 33.
Why?
I'm 33. I've actually noticed that, because I've been thinking about what I find attractive. And one of the biggest things is, I mean, I have a bunch of things, but one of the biggest things is that if I feel like he would be a good father, that's super attractive to me. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's my biological clock ticking.
That's why you need to date people with children already, because that means they still have custody. That means the court thinks they are a good enough father. So the court is helping you determine that someone's a good father. So you should date someone with children.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
I don't know why you're so against this. Sure, it's baggage, but baggage is great. Everybody needs baggage, right?
I'm not against it, but I'm it just feels like so much at once. I'm not even looking for a relationship now. I'm just looking to date people and get to know people and hook up and stuff. But it's just so, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, that thing. You have to wait through so many people that you can be polite to and be like, oh, hey, ho. Oh, you like carbonara? Cool. Tell me about your relationship with your mother. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a comedian and we're a bit damaged, but we get deep so quick. No, speak for yourself.
I'm very well adjusted.
You're so well adjusted.
Thank you.
You are very well adjusted. I think I am. I'm okay.
Nah, you're very broken. Let's be honest. You're very broken. Let's not kid ourselves.
How broke? Ugh.
I'm okay. What is this understatement of the year? I'm okay. You're one of the most broken people I know, and that's why I podcast with you. I just want to see the extent of this damage. That's
so funny.
It's like a science experiment for me. It's like watching a nature documentary for me. It's like, ooh, what is this broken woman gonna do? Let's see. Can we have David Attenborough narrate a documentary about broken people? Yeah.
Oh gosh, that would be great. Yeah.
The depressed human spends hours in bed doing nothing. But she just watches the window at the snowfall. And she feels living by herself, living alone is so boring.
I'm never telling you anything ever again. You always use it against me.
This is shit you post on your Instagram.
Well, for my private close friends.
Oh, your
For
green
my
star people.
private
The green star people. Oops. Sorry. Oops. 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 The depressed human
so
feels
funny.
lost without her 4 loser housemates.
You're such a dick.
No, this is David Attenborough talking. This is a documentary about like mental illness. It's very important, you know. It's very trendy now to talk about mental illness on social media.
God.
You ever notice that? You ever think
I
about
feel
that?
like this. The more I'm getting better, the tougher it is to do this podcast with Nigel.
Why? Because you see how broken you used to be? Because I bring it up to the surface?
No, because we can't have discussions. Because before I would just laugh at everything.
What do you mean not
I
have?
know.
We're having discussions now. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
I just make fun of it. But also, I want to talk about this. A lot of people share mental health stuff on social media.
Uh-huh.
You know, people who are not qualified to share mental health stuff on social media. All right, you can't post a bikini photo of you at Dubai and then say mental health is important, guys. Take a break when you can. Like, what the fuck is this? You're not qualified to give me advice. Suddenly, all these influencers are giving people mental health advice.
Yeah.
You know how when you post like COVID-related stuff, there's a pop-up
Yeah.
that shows up, say, for more information on COVID-19, for the facts of COVID-19, please check out this link. I think there should be that when people post like mental health stuff. Because it's dangerous advice sometimes. You know? And it's unqualified, it's dangerous, they're not a mental health professional. Why isn't there a pop-up? You know?
I mean, that makes, that's a good point. But aren't you, like, they're not saying, like, do this or do this, right? They're just saying take a little more time to rest. Have some more ice cream?
Do this. Right? Have some more ice cream. You know, like, or if I use the exact same language to talk about COVID, the thing comes up. You know? You know, like I say,
There's so much misinformation.
yeah, exactly. It's all misinformation about mental health. And I want to take therapy. You know, I want to go to therapy, but now
Oh, do
therapy is
you?
over Zoom because of the pandemic, right? I want to go to a therapist, but it's all over Zoom, and I hate Zoom so much. I think my mental health will actually be worse if I go to therapy now. You know, it's like, how do I do this? You know,
Yeah.
I really hate Zoom.
Oh, gosh. Why do you want to go to therapy?
I don't know, figure shit out.
Actually, you know what? I do therapy over Skype, and
the
my
same
therapist connection is so bad that several times during the call, she'll just freeze. I'll be in the middle of saying something and having like a realization, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Claudia?
Is this your therapist with the shitty website? We talked about this, right? The therapist with the shitty website, right? Of course her internet connection will be shit. Like, if you're a therapist, shouldn't you have like broadband? You know, don't be hotspotting yourself with 4G as a therapist. Right?
She's not.
Get some like fast internet.
She's it's very funny because it's like I'm just in the middle of like something sharing something, and then it's like, hello? Are you still there? Oh no. It's so funny.
Yeah, I'm glad you think you're hot now. That's good. Everybody should think that. Because what's the alternative, right? It doesn't really matter. You can either think you're hot or you think you're ugly, right? And if you it just doesn't
Or
hurt
you
to
can
think
think
you're
you're
hot.
fine.
No, just think you're hot, please. If you think you're ugly, it just kills everything, you know, and you could be wrong. But if you think you're hot, even if you're not, you still have that nice, happy feeling in your heart, right? Being hot and wrong is better than thinking you're hot but being wrong is better than thinking you're ugly and okay. Being hot and
being
wrong,
wrong.
You know what I mean?
Being hot and wrong is better than being ugly and wrong.
Being ugly and right, yeah. Let's say. Here's what I mean.
What do you
I'm
mean?
not making sense here. Okay, imagine two ugly people. One person thinks they're ugly. The other person thinks they're hot. Right? Who has a better mental health? The hot person. Right? Sure. The ugly person who thinks they're ugly, they are realistic. They are in tune with the world. They're well adjusted. But they're also miserable. They got it correct, but they're miserable. They're right, but they're miserable. Whereas the ugly person who thinks they're hot, they're delusional, they're wrong, they're not self-aware, but they're happy. They walk around thinking they're the shit, right?
I feel like you're describing me and you.
What?
You're so happy, Nigel. You walk around with your abs. You're so happy.
Yeah, I catch a reflection any chance I get. The Starbucks is a reflective window. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at myself. No.
That's so funny.
No, that's all I'm saying. But it's okay. We are hot now. Asians are hot now. Okay, Evelyn. We are hot. We are trendy now. You watch Bling Empire. You were mentioning
Bling
earlier.
Empire.
So we are hot now. We all have abs.
I want to say, like, basically every Asian dude that I've seen recently, they're ripped, like super ripped. And I think possibly it's like a counter reaction to the stereotype of, emasculating Asian men, which is great. And the hottest one around now is Kevin Kreider from Bling Empire. I know I made fun of him on my Instagram a few weeks ago because I made fun of his Instagram. But now I've watched all the episodes of Bling Empire and I love Kevin. I love him. Kevin, if you're watching this, hit me up. Like, we could be friends. I love you. You're so
Evelyn,
much fun.
Kevin, don't bother. Evelyn's just gonna text you a few times, and then she's gonna say, "Oh, there was no connection, no spark." Don't bother, Kevin. I know you're busy with your other bitches. Text your other bitches. Those will actually go somewhere. Okay.
The other bitches.
Yeah.
I'll go places with Kevin. I don't care.
You say that to every
so much
guy.
Fun.
Kevin, do you really want this person with issues, Kevin?
This person with issues. How old is he? He's like 36. He's a leftover person too.
Yeah, but it's okay. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He's like good looking. It's okay. I think he chose to be a leftover person. We were dumped in the bin by other people. So we're in different leagues here. Us and Kevin, okay? So
yeah.
yeah.
But Kevin, if you want to come on the podcast, like, we'll have you on. Like, yeah. He is so much fun.
Sure. Invitation's open, Kevin.
Yeah. But Bling Empire, basically, I've been watching it because I got called up by my friend at the Swedish radio station, and they were like, so we're thinking about talking about Bling Empire. And then we were like, who would be a good person to talk about that? And we thought of you. And I was like, oh, why? Why did you think of me? But yeah, so we
all know why. We all know why.
Exactly. We all know why. So I've watched all of Bling Empire.
What they don't know is you are like, your race is the same race, yes, but you are like the least, like, you share so little in common with any of the people of Bling Empire that they might as well find a like a rich white person will share more in common with those people than you do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. I will say. I mean, their life is so different from, like, I'm gonna be honest though. Like, I've watching the show, like, so they've sort of framed it as if it's from Kevin's perspective, like he's the new guy who was welcomed into this community, and sure, that's fine. And he's the outsider, sure. But the thing is, he's also adopted, so it is still kind of from, when it comes to culturally. And even if you weren't, he's Korean. So it's still kind of like, it's still kind of from this like white perspective, I feel, of the, when it comes to Asian culture. However, I will say the Asian culture that is featured in the show, I feel like it's very performative. I feel like it's probably the least interesting bit about the show. And it's also that's the bit that I think the people care least about, but they framed it that way because it's rich Asians, so they need to have that bit of Asian culture in there. But it's very performative.
I don't know, man. I think there are some stuff that was very, very Asian that I'm like, oh yeah, we rich Asian people do that. yeah, you didn't grow up around rich Asian people, so you don't know. That's because they
but
don't talk about growing up in a Chinese takeaway. You don't have a frame of reference, Like, okay, my example.
No. I mean, like, obviously, like all the things that Christine had to deal with her in-laws and blah blah blah, like all of that stuff. But like the parties that they threw, they were like, oh, it's the Chinese Thanksgiving, like the Moon Festival and stuff. And I was like all of those types of parties, I felt were very performative. But then also, obviously the culture that they're like, all the issues that they had to deal with within family and stuff, I was like, obviously that's real and that's like familiar. But
rich Asian people actually do have those parties, right?
Yeah.
And then that scene where they had like a photo shoot for the baby, that is such a rich Asian parent thing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or when they describe the person, one of the women, they use like filters on their eyes to make it look bigger.
Yeah.
That's another Asian thing to do. I think they got it pretty spot on. I think it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the show that much, but it was okay.
Why didn't you like the show?
I wanted to do like an Uncle Roger reacts to Bling Empire, but I got lazy that week. That was the week I was struggling with this psycho bitch, and I was like, I'll take a week off. So I got a bit lazy. But I didn't like it because I don't know. Maybe reality shows are not really my thing. Yeah. Nothing against them.
It's quite interesting about Bling Empire because when they released it, so many people were like, oh, this is such a bad thing for Asian representation, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I disagree. Like, I think it's good. Isn't this progress? Like, we finally have a show where Asians can be allowed to be mediocre.
Yeah.
That's progress. You don't have to be a model minority all the time or be the perfect representation. Like, it reminds me of a quote that Chris Rock said. He was like, he was talking about Black representation in America, and he said African Americans will have reached equality when we know that we can go and screw up and be mediocre and not have to worry about, disappearing. Basically, we get another chance. He's like, that's when true equality has been kind of reached, is when people from our culture or like our community can be mediocre, and we don't have to, think about representation or representing our community in a bad way. And so the thing is, obviously, there's a long way to go with Asian Americans because there's so much. Like, sure, we have Bling Empire, but like at the same time, so many hate crimes against Asian Americans specifically. You got a hate crime even.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot. We talked about this like when it happened, right?
Yeah, when it happened.
And I still think we need like. Okay, I see a lot of these posts, Asian hate crime posts on my Instagram now, stop AAPI hate, all that stuff. I still think we need a catchier catchphrase, okay? I still think yellow lives matter. That should be a thing. I'm going to keep harping on this because I really think we need a catchier catchphrase than stop AAPI hate. What is that?
Okay, so
yellow
I cut
lives
this
matter.
out.
You say this once, people instantly know what you're talking about. Oh, it's like Black Lives Matter, but Asian, yes, brother.
So I cut this out the first time you mentioned it and the second time you mentioned it. But you know what, Nigel? Go ahead. Explain your idea for Yellow Lives Matter. Explain it. Go ahead.
It's self-explanatory. That's the beauty of the slogan. You say Yellow Lives Matter, people get it. You say stop AAPI hate, and then people have to go, what is AAPI? The acronym? Explain the acronym. And then, okay, Asian American and Pacific Islanders. Where's Pacific Island? I never even knew. And then the whole conversation gets sidetracked into defining where the Pacific Island is. Where is the Pacific? I don't even know. And I'm part of that group. I'm part of the AAPI. And I don't even know where the Pacific Island is. Okay.
And so what was your idea? What was your idea for the logo?
You carry on. Okay, sorry, I'm not finished yet. You just explain where the Pacific Islands are. You brought out Google Maps. You showed them a globe. You spun the globe to wherever that fucking place is. And then you have to explain. The person will go, oh, wait, has there been a lot of hate against AAPI people? And then you have to explain, yes, COVID. Right? Versus Yellow Lives Matter. They get all the BLM context, but just changing the race. Amazing, self-explanatory.
So you don't think that we're appropriating another movement?
We are not, because
slogan.
How are we profiting from this? Just trying to survive. Why is it not okay to use someone else's movement? Let's post a yellow square, people. It's been too long now. We need a catchier catchphrase. That's all I'm saying. Have you ever tried to explain to someone what Pacific Islander is? That is such a distraction from the issue at hand. The issue at hand is we are getting beat up. We don't care where Pacific Islands is. Save us. We worry about Pacific Islands later. Just stop beating us up. And I say that as a former victim of AAPI hate.
Nigel.
And how much more authentic. Like if it's coming from me, then you know it's real. You know, I've experienced it.
Oh my God.
And I think we need a yellow square on everybody's feed.
If you now, in addition to being the white knight of MSG and of Asian male hotness, you're gonna purport yourself to be Asian cooking. You're gonna purport yourself to be the white knight of hate crimes against Asians.
Yeah,
I am gonna cancel this podcast.
No, don't cancel this.
I am gonna
I'm
leave.
making good points here. I'm really making good points here.
It is good points.
Yeah.
It is.
It's good points counted a lot of bad points. But the core of it is still good. I'm trying to raise awareness. We're getting beat up by different people.
Yeah,
okay?
we are. Yeah.
Imagine if BLM wasn't called BLM. Okay, so I realized matter is YLM, right? So BLM, the nice short acronym. You know, imagine if it wasn't called BLM. Imagine if it was called Stop African American Hate. Like, what would the first question be? Oh, you're saying so only African Americans get mistreated? What about black people from Africa? They get mistreated too, and then the conversation goes in all shitty directions. You know, you lose track of the issue at hand, right? But you say BLM, done. YLM, done, easy.
Okay, Yellow Lives Matter.
Yeah.
That's your pitch.
That's my
I'm
pitch.
not
Yellow
against
Lives
it.
Matter.
Yeah, I'm not against it. It's good. I think it's actually good.
So instead of this like picture upon picture of just Asians with a bruised nose, you know, looking all like we are victims, right? So instead of picture upon picture of just us in a lineup, why don't I have a yellow fist? You know? That's
You're
for
just
solidarity.
literally just stealing everything from Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, I told you I am because it was so effective. Why wouldn't you? Do you want us to stop being punched? Can we steal something so we stop being punched? I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure black people won't mind. Do you think black people, hey, stop stealing our shit, bro? It's our shit. You keep getting punched. I don't give a shit. Stop stealing our shit. You think they'll care? They don't care.
What's going on?
You're saying that like it's cultural appropriation.
Well, it is kind of. It's weird.
It's not.
I think I just I don't have the energy. It's not I get it. They had they organized and had such a profound movement, but we can't just go and be like, Yellow Lives Matter, paint that fist yellow, and like do that. We do need to come up with something else that's also catchy, but something that's original.
But in the meantime, before someone does that, can we go with Yellow Lives Matter? In the meantime, while we wait for a fresh original take and a fresh slogan for our plight, can we just go with something?
Oh my God!
What say about that as a victim of a hate crime? Can we just take something that works for now?
Maybe we should just like try to release the Asian criticism or something.
What do you mean Asian criticism? What was that? What do you mean?
I mean, okay, so basically, the other day I bought a new outfit. I bought flare cut jeans and I had like a knitted sweater and I wore it and I went out, had brunch with my friends, walked around all day and like I was feeling good and like people were looking and I was like, oh, that's nice. Maybe they like my outfit. And then I go to my parents' house and the first thing my mom says to me is, why are you wearing such ugly clothes? And I was like, what? You think my clothes are ugly? And then my dad was like, no, they're beyond ugly. And I was like, oh no, I I've been wearing an ugly outfit all day. And so, like Asian parents and Asian people have no filter. So can we weaponize that somehow? Can we weaponize that?
I mean, we have no filter. How do we weaponize that against? So what? How do we weaponize that? How does not having a filter protect us from getting beat up? Do we insult our attacker's clothing?
Yeah, I'm thinking that. We just assault our attacker's clothing.
Your shirt is ugly. Why are you still punching me?
Maybe that would make them want to punch you even more.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only time to have a filter is when you're getting punched by someone. That is the best time to have a filter. Right? Yeah. That's the only time I have a filter.
You're right. Yeah.
You see me? Yeah. I didn't talk shit to the guy who was punching me.
God. Yeah.
I was just...
You just took it.
I just block it.
Yeah.
Don't talk shit to people punching you, okay? Stop. Don't do that. But was it really that ugly, your outfit? I'm sure your mom... Okay, by the way, why are you taking fashion advice from them? They probably think anything trendy is ugly anyway. You know? Have you seen their house? Have you seen their house? You're
Nigel.
Like, really, Mom? You think like boxes and this like mattress is okay? This mattress without a bed frame? Oh, by the way, psycho Swedish bitch just lived on a mattress with nothing under it. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
I mean, if that wasn't a warning sign, what?
I thought it was some Scandinavian design. I don't know.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I thought it was some Scandinavian thing. You know how like Japanese houses, the mattress is very low to the ground, or sometimes they just
but they
sleep on
always
the floor.
have something under. Oh
okay,
my god!
Fine. Now I know. Now I know.
Oh,
that's another red flag, people. If you see someone in the mattress just on the ground and nothing underneath it, like don't fuck with them. Something happened for them to like sleeping on the floor. Yeah. But I digress. I'm saying, your parents, like, they think I haven't seen your outfit, so I don't know. So maybe they have a point. So if that's the case, must be a really bad outfit. So because they're like, oh, these boxes, this mattress on the floor, that's okay. But Evelyn's outfit, no, we can't stand for that. You know?
I mean, I think they had a point. In that, I mean, individually, all of the pieces that I wore were fine, but put together, maybe not the best ensemble as I looked in the mirror after they told me. And so I was like, okay. Oh, how embarrassing. That's why immediately afterwards, I just went online and ordered new clothes. I was like, I can't handle this. I need to feel good about myself.
I think maybe that's maybe I'm still getting used to living alone, because if you have roommates, you walk out with that, they will just make fun of you and then you'll go change. That's one downside of living alone, you know. Nobody will tell you look shit, so you have to like have that self-awareness. You know. True.
I was trying something. I mean, the jeans, I was like, I still don't know what to match it with because I really like them, but I have to figure out like which top to match it with. Oh my God, this is so boring. But yeah, that's very true. But I got the things that I ordered. So now I'm wearing a denim dress, which I feel very good in.
Yeah, I look good in it.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Do you think you're hot now?
I feel hot.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
What?
Nigel.
What?
This is how I know I'm better. I shower every day.
Okay.
And I'm actually kind of...
Kind of what?
So I'm actually I want to have sex with people.
Yeah.
But I'm actually, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. The leftover woman's talking. All right.
I'm not going to...
Libido is always good. Libido is your body telling you, yeah, I'm ready to go, baby. You know?
I honestly, yeah. And that's how I know I'm doing well.
That's how you know you're healthy.
Yeah, my sense of self is back. And
if you're not horny, you're fucked. Go see a therapist. I think the natural state of every human being is supposed to be horny. Right?
You think?
Yeah, because
probably.
we need to procreate. So listeners, if you're not horny, something's wrong with you. Okay.
I've got to cut this out of the podcast.
Why?
I'm too prude. Yeah,
Why?
I don't want people to hear it.
Why? This is interesting shit. Evelyn's horny, people. Evelyn's
Stop.
horny.
Stop.
Horny Evelyn.
Stop, Nigel.
Why are you cutting this shit out? Why? And then you leave out the psychology part. There are 3 kinds of attachments. There's this attachment type A, attachment type. I don't even remember anymore. You think that's more interesting than
People
Nigel?
actually
I'm kind of
wrote
horny.
me. People actually wrote me and said it
People
was.
will. That's why you never get the DM slides, because you give lectures. So you get like these like psychology students and enthusiasts writing you. I love Dr. Ramani too. You want to talk about how horny you are, you know?
Ugh.
That's how you know you're getting better.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, that's how
It
you know
is,
your
but-
diet's getting better. Your high blood pressure is probably gone. People with diabetes and high blood pressure don't get horny.
I don't know. Maybe they do.
No, your body's trying to just fighting to survive. Your heart's trying to pump the blood through this clogged artery. You don't have time to be horny. The blood can't even get to your vagina or your dick because it's so clogged. You know?
Oh, Nigel.
So if you're horny, that means you're healthy.
That's true, actually.
That's my theory.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
my theory. If you see the people, you know, the patients, terminally ill patients lying in the hospital bed, they're never horny. You know? You ever think about that? You ever think?
Terrible stuff. Terrible.
With all that said, Evelyn's horny. I'm gonna repeat this so you can't cut it out. Evelyn's
No,
super
I'm
horny.
not.
See you
I'm
next
not.
week. I'm gonna not even leave a break. Evelyn's super horny. See you next week. Oh, you can't even cut it now. Evelyn's super horny. See you next week.
You're such a dick. I'm gonna cut it.
No.
See you next week, people. Thank you so
Horny,
much.
Evelyn's super
Bye. Bye.
Evelyn's super horny. Don't cut it. Evelyn's super horny.
I'm not.
Evelyn's super horny.
I told you this is confidence. Stop it.
We are recording a podcast. That's those. Why would you tell me it now? When we're recording on Zoom, recording on Audition, recording on the camera. This is not the time for secrets. This is not the time for secrets.
Oh my god.
All right. See you next week, people. See you next week.